Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective. In this video I will be doing my predictions for Backlash 2023. So first up we have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn and Riddle versus the Bloodline. For me, I think that Sami Zayn, Owens and Riddle are going to get the win in this one. I think it makes sense with the whole Bloodline cracking up and falling apart storyline. For me, I feel like Jey Uso might take the pin for this one, just kind of add upon everything going on with Jey Uso and how like he seems to be the main guy who's going to split up the Bloodline and kind of go against Roman, with Jimmy following suit eventually. And then, but I think at some point we're going to get like Solo attacking them both, which I think will be a great moment. I don't think it'll happen at this pay-per-view, but I think it's going to be a decent match. I think like all 6 men are great, and yeah, I can't see him putting on a bad match. And yeah, so not really much to say on this one, other than I think it's pretty obvious, one of the more predictable matches of the night. So yeah, Riddle, Zayn and Owens to get the win here. Following that, we have Rhea Ripley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Zelina Vega. Again, this one more predictable. I can't see them taking the title off Rhea Ripley right now. I think she's way too hot, as in like with the fan, really fan favourite at the minute, and yeah, it just seems way too early to be taking the title off her. So yeah, Rhea Ripley to retain in this one, but I think it'll be a decent match. And Zelina Vega gets to have a match in front of her home crowd, which is great, and I'm always up for them doing this. I don't mind them having the hometown person get a title match when they go over there, especially as it's rare that they go to Puerto Rico. So yeah, as I said, Zelina's great in the ring, Rhea Ripley's fantastic, so I can't see it being a bad match. But I think, again, very predictable, and Rhea Ripley to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship here. Next up we have a San Juan street fight, I hope I said that right, between Damien Priest and Bad Bunny. For me, I feel like Bad Bunny's going to get the win for this one. I feel like they're going to get a celebrity and they are most likely going to get the win, other than obviously when Logan Paul faced. Not from Logan Paul really, who's now gotten used to losing. But this is only like the 3rd time Bad Bunny's wrestled. I can see him getting the win here for sure, especially as it's in Puerto Rico, even though both the guys are from Puerto Rico. But yeah, it's going to be great. Bad Bunny's proved himself to be very good at the wrestling, which is great for when celebrities come in. And also Priest, I was surprised to hear that Priest was undefeated in all matches since October, which I was surprised about because the Judgment Day lose a lot. But as I said, I think it's going to be a decent match. I don't think it will be main event or anything, it might just be dead middle in the card. I think the crowd will pop for both probably. But yes, it should be a fun little match. I think having it as a street fight helps out Bad Bunny in a way of like they can do kind of whatever they want. But yeah, I think Bad Bunny will get the win for this one. Following that, we have Austin Theory defending the United States Championship against Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. For me, this is one of the more unpredictable matches of the card. I think the only person I think is not going to get it is Bronson Reed, as he got drafted to Raw, and I can't see them putting the Intercontinental and US titles both on Raw. I feel like that would just be way more of a headache than anything else. But it's kind of between Lashley and Theory. On one hand, I would like Lashley to get the win here and become the new US champion. I'm not really connecting with Theory as US champion. I haven't since his first reign. Now this one, I just don't enjoy him as champion. So where I feel like Lashley could go back to elevating the championship like it was before, I do want him in the main event scene facing Roman as well. So I'm kind of conflicted on this one. But I feel like Theory is going to retain in this one and continue his United States Championship reign. I feel like it's going to be more a case of him trying to avoid Reed and Lashley, and then Reed and Lashley kind of going at it for a while, and Theory kind of stealing a win at the end. Not that he won't be much involved in it, I think he will, but I think the finish will be Lashley maybe spearing Reed a couple times, and then Theory stealing the win at the end to retain the title. But I think it'll be a fun match. I think it'll be non-stop action from the start. As I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good. I'm glad that Bronson Reed gets another chance on pay-per-view. Like, he's got some real potential, as a lot of people do. And it's going to give Theory another chance to be more of a shithouse heel. which is never bad, I guess. But as I said, I'm just not that invested in him as champion. And Lashley's just good anyway, overall. I'm a big fan of Lashley. So it should be really good, but I've got Austin Theory to retain the US Championship here. After that, we have one of the matches I'm more worried about, I think, which is Seth Rollins versus Omos. For me, Seth Rollins should be winning this hands down. I think if he's going to be one of the main guys in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament, then he has to get a win here at Backlash and kind of continue that momentum on that he's had through the start of the year. But it's Omos, and I always worry that he's going to get the win anyway, and it'd be a big win for him to get over Seth Rollins, especially after his loss to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Though they might want to put him back on track of being a dominant giant. But I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Omos won either. But it's the match I'm definitely going to be... It's one of the matches I'm actually more invested in, even though there's been no build at all. Just because I want to see who wins, because it is an interesting one that they just threw together out of nowhere. But yeah, as I said, I really do want Rollins to win, and I really want him to go on to Night of Champions and win the World Heavyweight Championship. But it would not shock me if they had Omos win here, but Rollins still go on to win the World Heavyweight Championship. But I don't know, it's not going to be a very good match in my opinion, and I'm curious as to how Rollins is going to get Omos down for the stomp. But like I said, I've got Rollins to win this one. Next up we have Bianca Belair facing Io Sky for the Raw Women's Championship. For me, I feel like this match could steal the show in my opinion. This could be a really, really good match if they let Io kind of do what Io does best. Io is probably one of my favourite female wrestlers on the roster, and though I've kind of liked Damage Control, I feel like she could have had more momentum probably coming up to the American roster on her own. I'm hoping we're going to get more of like 2020-ish Io Sky when she was NXT champion, NXT Women's Champion. Because yes, she was really good back then when she beat Charlotte, and I remember what she beat for the Women's Championship. It might have been, I want to say Rhea, maybe it was. And that's a complete blame for that one. But either way, I'm really looking forward to this one. Both can put on a great match, so I'm genuinely hoping this one steals the show. As for the winner, it's really conflicting because I genuinely really want Io Sky to get the win here, but I can't see them ending Bianca Belair's record Roman's title reign here. I feel like I might hold it to maybe SummerSlam. Plus the build hasn't been massively toward Bianca Belair losing. Not quite. Again, it's been another Bianca Belair match on pay-per-view that hasn't had much build. It was the same with Asuka at WrestleMania. I'm hoping this match isn't as one-sided at least, because it really disappointed me that one at WrestleMania, as you guys know from my review of WrestleMania. But yeah, as I said, I've got Bianca Belair to retain here, and she'll go on to SmackDown. I've got a feeling that they might do what the kind of rumours I've heard, which are rebranding the Women's Championships so they're not brand specific anymore, which I would genuinely prefer. You know, drafting the Raw Women's Champion to SmackDown, the SmackDown Women's Champion to Raw just makes no sense at all if you're going to have them brand specific. But, you know, it's not the first time they've done this, they did this a couple of years ago, so... But it's just annoying, because and if they do a title swap, it's just going to look ridiculous, so... But yeah, as I said, it should be a really good match. I'm hoping it's going to steal the show. I've got Bianca Belair to retain the Raw Women's Championship. And finally, we have Cody Rhodes facing Brock Lesnar. For me, this is probably one of the tougher ones to predict, as this could be a Cody win, this could be a Brock win, or they could throw this match out completely. I'm not sure whether it will be main event or not. I've got a feeling they might put the 6-man tag on as main event. But I know I'm expecting a decent match, and we know that Brock doesn't tend to go long with his matches anymore. So I'm not expecting a long classic from these two. Yeah, it's kind of the debate of like whether Cody should win and where he goes from here if he does get the win. I feel like having Brock Lesnar straight after WrestleMania was probably the wrong decision. But they're clearly using Brock as like a attraction for the Puerto Rico show, which is fine. They've done it before. They do it with Saudi Arabia every 2 times a year. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one for me. I do feel like they might just have a DQ finish and have this match again at SummerSlam or something. But, or maybe even at Saudi Arabia, to be fair. I completely forgot about that. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. I've gone back and forth loads of times about it. like whether Lesnar wins, but Cody has to go back to the line. After his promo on Raw, I can't, the interview backstage on Raw, I can't see Brock winning. So whether it gets called off or Cody wins, I'm not sure, but if Cody wins, where does he go from here? Like, I would have preferred if he had an opponent he could have a long, good match with, similar to what he had with like Sammy Guevara and AEW for this pay-per-view, but they haven't done that. So I think I'm going to go with Cody for the win, just so we can start getting his momentum back and then face Roman at SummerSlam, or maybe even start building towards next year's WrestleMania. But I said I'm not sure where or what opponent he has after Brock Lesnar, or whether he goes to the final of the Night of Champions World Title Tournament. But yeah, I said I'm really unsure with this one. I'm probably going to go back and forth throughout the day and tomorrow till the pay-per-view happens about who's going to win this one. But as I've got to lock in a prediction for this video, I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes to get the win. So there's my predictions for Backlash 2023. As you can see on the right, I have my score for predictions this year for WWE pay-per-views, which is 15 out of 23. I feel like that's pretty good, to be fair, but I'm hoping to get more towards full marks for this pay-per-view. As always, I'll ask you to comment down below what your favourite match is going to be, which match you're looking forward to the most, just anything in general about the video, or any feedback for me. I would be much appreciated for any kind of feedback about the video. But as always, I will ask you to subscribe, like the video, share the video if you want, and I will see you guys next time. See you then.